So we are working on homeschooling. They have, Jacob's got a self-test and PACE test today. He's studying for social studies. And Jonathan is studying for his science. We decided to move to the kitchen because it's quieter. Or not the kitchen, the camper. So they'll be doing their, for art today and stuff, they'll be coloring this. We're getting ready to start spelling. So yeah, so that's just how everything's going today. I think we will start keeping their schooling stuff up here. And I might move that TV because it's not working. But yeah, so this is pretty much what we're doing for homeschooling this winter. Or right now this year, so back to the grind. Hello everyone, Mama Boys times 3. I thought I'd tell you real quick what's going on today. Homeschooling and then a bunch of stuff in the kitchen. I tried to upload a day in the life video, so I'm kind of trying to do a quick day in the life video because the other one was too long and I think that's why it's not working. So I will show you a few things as the day goes on. So in the oven we got the Tuscan herb tomato. They are roasting. And here I am going to get ready to dice these and slice and freeze these. So I have them. So I bought those at the local farm market, so I have them for fajitas and stuff. I'm probably just going to do those in strips because I have more peppers that I can dice in my garden. Then I've got all the tomatoes and all the work up. And I've got this that I'm getting ready to. I'm going to go sit down real quick and do those, eat my lunch, and I will get back with you. There's also a roast I'm having for dinner, so I'm going to try to insert the roast video here somehow, maybe at the end. And it was actually the other night, but we're actually eating it tonight, but I cooked it the other night, so I'll show you how we serve the roast. Alright, so I've already sliced up the red pepper, and I am going to do these real quick, and I'm going to dice these to store. Okay, so I have been super crazy and I've been trying to get everything together for you guys. So these green beans were pre-washed, but I'm going to grab my colander. And I am going to pre-wash these again. So I'm trying to do a day in the life video, kind of just a few things I do in the kitchen, but let me go ahead and rinse these off because they're already clean, but I want to rinse them off again. So while we're working on that, I'm going to be grabbing my spoon. In here, as you can tell, they're kind of burnt, but let me see if I can put you up here. Okay, that's better. Anyway, so I have got my jar. If you want this recipe, it's from the Elliott Homestead, and Shay Elliott posted a few weeks ago. So this is the Tuscan herb, tomatoes. Now I'm going to be adding just the few that I have left, and I may have burnt some of them, but they should still be good, to this jar. And you can add them, and this will keep, she says, all winter. So let me get this. Put this in the jar real quick, and I'm gonna have fun with that pan later. A trick when your pan's like this is what I'll probably do is I'll take it outside and spray it with some, when you burn something or roast it and you get a lot of burnt stuff on it, is put some, put this stuff called oven cleaner. I'm gonna set that to the side. All right, so I need to, let's see if you can see it down here. Okay. So I need to get all these underwater, or under the oil. So it's pretty much all the oil that you roasted your, and then tomatoes in, and that was a stick of rosemary. So there's not going to be too much, but I think it's going to take all the rest of the olive oil I do have. So let me see where I can find that. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I don't have a lot of olive oil left in this bottle, but you're just going to fill it up. And you don't have to use an expensive olive oil, as she says. Just use one of your cheaper ones. That way you're not wasting good olive oil. And she said occasionally you're going to have to go in and push these underwater. So that's what I'm doing. Pushing this underwater. Now this jar is full. And I think what I'm going to try to do one night is like do some chicken with this Tuscan herb salt I made. Again, Elliott Homestead, they have that recipe for the Tuscan herb salt. So really, I love her channel. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off the top of this to make sure it's clean. That's a clean paper towel. So, and they said that you can store this in your refrigerator for up into the spring and just dip out what you want, put it on pastas. So, and if it molds, just spoon a little bit of it out, but it won't hurt it. I don't know what's going on here though. My hands. Alright, so I got that. I'm going to put this in the fridge and I'll be right back. Okay, so next thing that is up that I'm doing today is I've got my mason jars here. Like I said, I had a video that had a lot of this in it and it just did not want to cooperate. So, I don't have very many green beans. But I'm going to see if I can get a quart out. Isn't a whole lot left, and they will cook down. So you really want to, like I said, I've only got a little bit left in here. And that was that roast warming up back in the oven. I did it in the crock pot the other day. As you see, I'm trying to push these down because when you cook, a lot of room will be up in the jars. So that is pretty much how we're going to do. Yep, I think I'll be able to get 1 quart out of this. See, I was going to do pints, but I need my canner. So I'm getting ready to do some peppers. So I'll put these all in about the same time. Well, actually, I'm going to do these with whole tomatoes. So what I'm going to do next for the green beans, once I got the cold water on, since it's a quart, I got pickling salt. You can use regular salt, but I like to use this when you're panning. And I do a teaspoon for a quart. So a teaspoon of water, or a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm going to take, I'm going to put my candy funnel back on to make it less of a mess. And you'll see the water filling up in there. And that is all you have to do. Now there is a little bit too much water in there, and these will cook down in the jar, so I'm probably going to have to take a little bit off. Let's see if I can add a little bit more water to that. Okay, so as you can see, it's up to the head space. I do not want to add any more green beans. Yeah. Actually, I think I can. I can make those work. So, next thing is I have my jar lid. I'm going to seal this up. And I'm going to add this to the canner in just a little bit, but I have so much other stuff to do that we will be adding that later. So, the next thing I'm going to do is get a couple pots out. So, I'm going to get this one and this one, and I'll show you. Okay, so in this little yellow pot, this is some mixture I have left over, so I'm going to do this first. and see how many jalapenos I can get in the one jar. That is that syrup mixture for jalapenos, and I believe I tried to show you, but like I said, the video wouldn't come up, so I'll still work on uploading that. And this I need to bring to a boil. I canned what I had left. Oh, it's very sweet. And I'm going to make some more cowboy candy, and I'm actually going to take that jar and put it upside down in this pot and let it drain out, because that took a long time to make. So I'm going to go ahead and work up some jalapenos, and I'll be back. Okay, so I just had to show you this. I'm getting ready to work up all these jalapenos, and it's going to be a lot. So I have my gloves on, and we will get started. I have a garbage bowl over here. Hopefully I don't get tired of working with seeds. We're going to see. Let me go ahead and spray this. So I thought I would show you real quick how I cut up the pepper that I'm going to put in the jar. And then I'm probably going to do some peppers in the mandolin so I can have a few diced peppers for recipes. And then, yeah, this one ain't going to work today. But it may work for this. And these apparently have been sitting a while because they're very hard to get out. Always when you're working with jalapenos, wear gloves. You'll think you won't need one, and then you will. So I'll kind of put it down here. Of course, I'm going to put my peppercorn, and this one took its hair out. Because I did buy one. But I wasn't too thrilled with it because it was supposed to, like, cut off the top, and it's not doing it. And I think my vintage, or my plastic peppercorn works just as good. Because I can get it in here to turn. Maybe the pepper had to be big. I don't know. That pepper's bad. So, anyways, I'm going to show you how I put a few of these in here. And then this is how I will put them. I'm going to do some pepper rings. I'm back, so I'll switch jars. So it wasn't as bad as what I thought, and it's still hot liquid, so I'll be able to get by with doing this. So you take this, you put your lid on it, and then you cover it under a towel because that was boiling. But I think I'm just going to add that to the canner for a little bit also. And then this is my last jar. I'm still wearing gloves because I'm still working with jalapenos. So, I've got 2 quarts of the pickled jalapenos. I'm going to go ahead and put my green beans in here, so I will have to cook these a little bit longer, but that'll just make sure they seal after that mishap with the canning jar. So next is this last one. It's clean, it came out of the dishwasher. It's just a very old jar. Atlas, my favorite. They don't make them. So, we do next is I have to grab my slotted spoon. This is very, very hot. So, I'm not sure how many jars of this will make, so I may have to put a pint jar in here with this, but I figure it'll only be a quart. So I've got my husband's roast on the plate. Now, he does not like carrots, so I'm going to dip out with his potatoes. And I like to add a little extra broth from this roast on his plate. And these potatoes are from our garden. So. Alright, so let me get the rest for you. Okay, so I've got his roast with potato and carrots. I've also got some mashed potatoes. So I normally serve it with mashed potatoes on bread, but tonight, like I did the potatoes in the roast, and then I have some corn from the garden that I froze. And I will show you what it looks like. And here is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is just attach the recipe video to the end of this vlog. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy. Can you say hi? Look at this, if he'll let me show you. I don't know how to show you. See? Look at the curl. It's his whole hair. Look how long it is. His whole head is like that. And your whole head curly. Say bye. Say bye.
You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet, with you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day, for you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go, my summer love, be waiting for you, my love. My summer love, be waiting for you, my love. My love is forever yours, forever yours. My love is forever yours.
To Mama Boys ×3, I wanted to share with you my quick roast recipe. I will be adding potatoes and a little bit to that, and I'll show you when I do add them, because I have some baby potatoes from the garden I'll go get and clean up. But right now I want to get all this in there because it won't take those long to cook. So I have a 2.5 pound roast. Now I had this in my freezer and I did get it on sale. And when I got it on sale, I bought a bunch of roast. So I'm going to go ahead and add the roast to this crock pot. And this is just a recipe I came up with my own, and my kids devour it. So like the fact that they love this. But let me rinse off my hands really quick. Okay, so I added the roast. Now you're gonna think I'm crazy. I do have a quart of, this is like some broth that I used. I'll have to try to get it out there. This is broth from the last time I made a roast, and then I just froze it. That way I can have it because it's still got that good flavor in it. But what I'm going to do first before I get that is, the roast is in here. So I love these. It's the packet of the French onion soup, and I will show you how we're going to layer this real quick. So I'm going to take and sprinkle. Okay, let's see. Now, it's a little chunked up, but it's okay. So that's a packet of the French onion soup mix. All right, so I buy my Hidden Valley Ranch in bulk. I like to use that. You can use any store-bought package, but if you buy it in bulk, it's 3 tablespoons equals up to a packet of ranch. So I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle that, 3 tablespoons, and I just use a regular kitchen tablespoon, and I'm sprinkling that right over the soup mix. So after we do that, the next step is directly in the center of the roast. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. I got a phone call real quick. So I wanted to show you. Next, I'm adding a stick of, and I will be putting it directly on that. So from there, I wanted to show you. Sorry about that. Okay, so from there, I wanted to show you, I have some onions from my garden that I'm adding. You can add regular onions I'll be cutting some of these in half. Some of these I'll be leaving whole.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget
The onions, I have some carrots. And I don't think I'm going to add all of them, but I'll probably add about, nobody else in my family likes to eat carrots, but I love them in a roast. So I do not add the liquid yet, and I will show you. I like to add all this stuff to the roast first. Okay. Let's see, is that about half? Yeah, so that's about half. All right, next thing I'm going to add are going to be these new potatoes. These are from my garden. Oh, I almost forgot. So sometimes I add garlic. I don't really have any garlic powder, I don't feel like it. I have this little bit of garlic powder I need to use up. So there's probably about a tablespoon, which is good for this roast. So I will pour it right on top of that. I should have put it under the butter, but it'll be fine. So I have that. I've got a paper towel, because I just actually decided to go get these new potatoes. I wanted to see what they look like. So I'm gonna wipe them off. I've already rinsed them. If they're like this, I'm going to leave them in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then I will be right back to show you what I did.
You have my soul, you have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet. With you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day. For you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go. My summer love, be waiting for you, my love. My summer love, be waiting for you, my love. My love is forever yours. Forever yours. My love is forever yours.
So I added the potatoes. A lot of times I just peel regular potatoes and add them. But since I had the new potatoes from the garden, I will do those. So last, I was trying to break up this broth because that's what I froze. So I'm gonna pour it in here. And there's some bits and pieces of some other roast that was in there. Now I'm gonna take this jar. And since I did not have any beef consomme, I'm filling that up with broth. And since I like it to have a brothy flavor, I need to go refill these. I need to set these out so I'll refill them. Okay, so since I like it to have a brothy flavor, this is what we'll do. I am going to put 2 beef bouillon cubes in there. And you can use beef broth, but I like to just save all my broth from the roast before. But if you are going to do this from start to finish and you don't have any of these ingredients on hand like I do, so take the jar, shake it, get all that good beef broth out of it if you froze your jar, like, and you do your own broth. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna add it to the roast. And then the bouillon cubes will just go in there and then they'll cook. So that right there, I'll show you what it looks like. And there's what it looks like. And this is before it is started. So put a lid on it. I'm putting it on high for 4 hours. Or you can put it on low for 8 to 10. I'm gonna put it on high, and reason being is I like it to be done, and then I just put it on low. So what I wanted to say with this roast, if you are doing it from start to finish, you don't have it. This is what I normally do. I add 1 can of beef consomme and 1 can of beef gravy. And then I take the can of beef gravy and then I just put a little bit of water in it, shake it around and pour it in there, because I don't really want to do a broth. But this broth that I had frozen was from previous roast, and I know it's good broth. It was what I needed. And then you add your but you don't want to add that yet. You want to add your roast, your ranch dressing seasoning, and your French onion soup mix. I try to do most of this stuff from scratch, but there's a lot you can't. And then you want a stick of butter. Call me crazy, but you need a stick of butter in that roast. And you put all that on top, and then on the outside of the roast, do your onions, potatoes, carrots. You don't have to do potatoes. Sometimes I serve it with mashed potatoes, and I'll see what my husband wants tonight, because I will take the broth that I have in here if there's any extra liquid. Sometimes I make a noodles to go along with the side, and a lot of times I make a gravy. So I will be taking and making a gravy. Sometimes he likes the store-bought gravy, but I don't really like to do it, so I'll probably make a gravy out of that. But anyways, you can serve this on bread when it's done. Put the roast on a piece of bread, put some gravy, mashed potatoes, do an open-faced roast beef sandwich, or you can serve this as a traditional roast with potatoes, carrots, onions, and the roast, and it's good that way too. So I do it both ways. Tonight's going to be kind of a mixture of both, because I have leftover mashed potatoes from the meatloaf, and that recipe should be up by now. I'm having trouble with my editing thing, letting videos upload. So anyways, stick with me on this recipe. I will be back later in the day after I go get some errands and stuff done and we finish some homeschooling, and I will show you where to go from there with this, because there's so many options once this is cooked. And then if there's roast left over, I need to pick up a head of cabbage today, and I will show you what we do in another video with anything left over, and it is delicious. Okay, so I am back and this roast is done, and I just wanted to show you what it looked like. Okay, so this is what it looks like tonight. As you can see, there's the yummy roast, and the potatoes, the carrots, and see, it just falls apart. So good. So I will try to post a recipe in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a quick video. I'm still working on the day in the life video, and there should be a meatloaf recipe that is being uploaded or that was just uploaded, so watch for those. The day in the life one is just not coming together as much as I wanted, so I may have to go re-edit that and do it in 2 days. So hope you enjoy, and like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Yeah, so here is what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe for more recipes and day in the life.